are. So this is, of course, all about inventory replenishment. What is inventory replenishment from Plus Software? Well, it's software you can download from our Plus Software website. It connects to your accounting system and it produces a suggested order across normal inventory or jobs or manufacturing. And you can quickly and easily customize that exact stock selection. And we'll talk about that in the demonstration and show you how it all works today. Good stuff. So the key problems that inventory replenishment solves, really every business wants to know what to order and when to order. And then also every business wants to avoid having excess money tied up into the stock or inventory. And of course, they don't want too little money because obviously they'll miss up on orders. So those are the key problems we solve with regards to inventory replenishment. So how does the software work? It's pretty easy software, although of course very intelligent. It reviews what's in stock right now. It works out the demand on existing sales orders. It determines what comes in on purchase orders, and it analyzes the minimum and maximum stock holding and the lead time based on your daily average usage. It reviews the optimal batch quantity or economic batch quantity in some terminology. And then finally, it sees what job quotes have been won. So it does all of that complexity, and it then produces what we call a suggested order. Now, that suggested order can be amended by the user, and Dean will show us exactly how that all works. Once they're happy with that, they create a saved purchase order. And within the software we'll show you today, which is linked to Cybus Vision, one of the ERP solutions within Australia, we use a piece of software called Data Automator that then brings it into the accounting software. And of course, with other solutions like Sage, we use the software development kit to import it directly into the accounting system to produce a purchase order. So that is how the software works. The demo, as I mentioned, will cover the Cybus Vision component, but of course it works with Sage 100, 200, also known as Evolution. And it also works, although we've not connected it at this time, for other accounting solutions like Sage 300, ABM, and so on and so on. Without further ado, Dean, show us what I'm waffling on about. And you have around about 8 to 10 minutes within this 14-minute webinar. Welcome, Dean.
Thanks, Pete. All right, let me bring up inventory replenishment. All right, Pete, can I just confirm you can see my inventory replenishment screen?
Perfect, thank you.
Perfect, okay. All right, everyone, so when you open up inventory replenishment, it will open up onto a dashboard screen. This dashboard screen will show you some key KPIs based on your inventory. So it will show, for example, probably your top 10 items in risk of running out of stock. It could show you top 10 most overstocked items. It can also show you your stock holding by location, as an example. So they will just have a few quick KPIs. Then we come across here to the replenishment tab, and this is where we get all the information into to create our orders. So with inventory replenishment, it covers off job replenishment, so that'll create purchase orders for jobs. It caters for manufacturing replenishment. This is where it'll create manufacturer orders for you in the system. And then your stock replenishment to replenish your stock. So for the purpose of today's webinar, we're just going to focus mainly here on the stock replenishment. So this grid that we are looking at here, this grid is completely customizable by yourselves. So what is behind this grid and all the grids is on the settings tab, we have a query. And this SQL query that we have over here is exactly what populates our columns inside of that grid. So that means you have control over which fields you want to come in or out of that grid, and you also have control over how the suggested order quantity is calculated. So you can determine for your business needs how to calculate that suggested order quantity. Once that query has been designed or altered, it will then show us this grid. So the user, when they come in to do their purchase orders, to do the inventory replenishment, will have the screen If everything is set up correctly, basically it is ready to go. So the main thing that the user will probably need to do is just double check some of the data is correct, that they're happy with it. They'll also probably just need to do some filtering to make it a little bit more manageable. So what you can do is on the screens over here, for example, I can do a filter and go, all right, well, let's go look at this specific weight location. And then they can come through here and they can go to a product group and they'll say, all right, well, let's just look at this specific product group. So the filtering allows them to manage what they are looking at on the screen. Now, I'm just going to quickly put my product groups back for a little bit more data. But also, what is filtered on the screen is only that will be created as purchase orders to go back into the financial system. So that is a pretty good way of managing the chunks of purchase orders that also go in. Now, what will happen is the user will come through, have a double check that they're happy with, for example, the suggested order quantity. If they want to see, let me just quickly take my location over here and put it back to all. For example, over here, if they want to see how it is made up or what is some of the data behind this, you can right click on any of the items, hit inquiry, and you can see over here there are 3 different purchase orders already in the system for this item, and it will give you the purchase order numbers. Similarly over here for the sales orders, if I inquire on this specific product, there it's showing me the specific sales order already in the system for that product. Now, you'll notice that some of my lines are green and some are white. The green lines are pretty much ready to be imported. The lines that are white will not be imported. And they are probably white because there is no supplier selected. All right, so there is no default supplier against that product. So you can come along here and populate the supplier. The minute you go off, okay, you see my line is now turned green. That means this item is now ready to be imported. You can go to any of the existing ones and also alter the supplier. You can also come through here on your suggested order quantity and change or update your suggested order quantity based on some other factors that you might want to take in. So based on that, when the user's gone through, they can use specific filters to show them the information on the screen. They're happy with the suggested order quantity. Then what they do is they come through over here on the Replenishment tab and click the Create Saved Purchase Orders, which that will then go through and put it into the financial system. This process works pretty much the same when it comes to job replenishment and manufacturing replenishment. All of these have a SQL script behind them, which populates the screen. And the idea behind the job replenishment, again, is that it will create purchase orders linked to the jobs. And the manufacturing replenishment will go and create manufacture orders for items that are required. All right, Pete, I think that probably covers off the main areas of inventory replenishment and how it can be used.
Fantastic, Dean. Let's head back to the summary. As you know, these are brief 14-minute webinars and we're up at 10 minutes. I think we get asked, why is inventory replenishment from Plus Software so unique? Well, there's 2 components. Of course, it's integrated to the accounting solution, but also the scripts that Dean showed you there briefly, the SQL scripts that come with the initial installation, they are completely transparent to the customer and to the partner. And more importantly, they are completely customizable. So you can define exactly how you want your inventory resupply to work. And the partner or Plus will create the exact SQL script and that'll produce a suggested order. So that is pretty unique. The other important component, of course, for Plus Software is the way, indeed you can move on, is the way we release our software into the market. And the reality is it's an easy setup. It's customizable, as I mentioned. There's a 14-day trial on our software and there's no upfront costs. There may be some consulting for the setup with your partner, and there's a monthly cost-effective fee as well. Any of our solutions you can cancel anytime, and of course there is support included. So that brings us almost to the end. I see there have been a couple of questions that have come in, so we definitely have a couple of minutes for that. So Dean, I'm just going to see, I see there is one here that says, how does inventory, or does inventory replenishment deal with custom fields in the accounting? So Dean, maybe you could answer that for us, and I'll see the second one I could probably answer. Go ahead.
Sure. Yes. So yeah, definitely custom fields can definitely be taken into account and used. That all just boils down to that SQL query again. So if a user has the ability, or the partner has the ability, they can edit that SQL query to include custom fields or remove any fields that they wish. So yeah, custom fields can definitely be included.
Thanks, Dean. The other question is, can you change the dashboards on the landing screen? I've got that, Dean. You can't change that initial dashboard. It'll certainly evolve as customers want, more KPI. If you want more inventory dashboards, then you could always go and look at Snapshot, which is the instant BI solution. There's about 17 inventory specific dashboards, if I remember. And Dean, I've probably got time for a third question is, can inventory replenishment forecast location-based orders? And then Jonathan wants to know, can you then submit that in one order? So Dean?
Yep. Yes, so this definitely can be done to forecast the location-based orders and roll them up into one order. Again, it boils down to the SQL query and what you write in there. So we can use specific SQL features such as windowed functions, which allows you to do running or group totals. And yeah, all of that can be then consolidated up into one order.
Good stuff. Dean, thank you so much. And customers and partners all over the world, thank you. I hope our 14-minute webinar on inventory replenishment has given you a little bit of an idea. If you'd like to take action, it's very easy. Let us know. You can download and install the software and trial it. Ask ourselves or your partners. Keep an eye out for our upcoming webinars on the Plus Software website. And without further ado, thank you so much, and I wish you all well. Take care.